welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having an amazing day. Well, I am so excited to shoot the tea with you. Alright, I have a couple exciting things. First of all, I'm going to shut this phone just to vibrate because it kind of gets a little crazy, and I know. Alright, so I wanted to talk to you first about, I'm going to do a couple kind of back-to-back videos, so, but I'm going to start with this one first. So this first one is going to be, gosh, okay, good. So this first one is going to be basically everything that can go wrong on your trip. Maybe not everything that can go wrong, but a lot of things in this last trip went really crazy wrong. I don't even know how to explain it. Let's start off with, we know that we had the potential in February in Chicago that we could be snowed in, we could not get back on the right day. We knew all this going in. So we kept watching the weather, and we were so lucky the day that we decided to book our flights to go out. We wanted to get there the day before, like a lot of the things were happening. We didn't want to fly in because one, we'd lose a couple hours, and then by the time we get there, we're already, it's like get there, unpack, and then like literally freshen up and go. And from our end, it would have been 6 a.m. and then get there, and we would still be going. And so right when we got off the plane. And so we decided to go in fly in the day before, which is really a smart move. So because the next day they had 400 flights canceled because of the storm that came in that weekend. So we actually lucked out there, slightly. Now, we did use a little bit of the morning to go kind of walk around and like just stretch and get some exercise, get some fresh air, because we knew we'd be inside for a couple days with all of this sessions and conference stuff. So it was really nice to be able to get out before the actual storm kind of hit that canceled a lot of those flights. And they knew the potential, I guess, they plan, they see the potential of and where the flights are coming from. The storm had already hit probably, and so a lot of those flights were coming in or canceled. So a lot of people were actually late even coming in. They didn't come in even until the following day, which was Monday, so kind of crazy. But our flight was really good on the way over there. Everything was going well, and always like a knock on wood type thing, but we got in, and so this is where the first thing went wrong. Now, if you have not seen my review of the Fairmont Hotel, then this will be a shocker for you. So there was, I went to use the facilities in my hotel room, and I had been there for about an hour. I was there, we had individual rooms. And there was feces in the toilet. And so I was like, oh my God. Anyway, they did take care of me and took care of everything, but that was like the first day. So you're just like, I just don't want to start off like this. And I just have to share, like right before that, I had been suffering with a little bit of a sore throat and losing my voice, and I didn't want to be sick, so I was taking a lot of meds. And if you saw some of my packing stuff, my unpacking, then you would have seen, or even when I packed my medicines and stuff, my little medicine case, you would have seen that. So I had some cold medicine and stuff in there. I don't really take cough lozenges, but I'll do cold, like Dayquil stuff. I did all that, and I was still, like, that cough pretty much lasted for, the cough and the sore throat lasted for like a couple of weeks. I'm barely getting over it this week. And so with the sore throat, the cough started coming on, and I pretty much had it the whole time. And then So then I'm at the hotel. So that was the first thing. The second thing is getting there and obviously the toilet not being cleaned, which then you wonder if the whole room's not clean. So anyway, they were lovely and they came up and they took care of everything and they apologized and everything. They're very embarrassed. And so that was kind of number 2 in a way. That was the second thing that happened. So then we, of course, are now hungry. And so we go and we look and we go somewhere to eat. And we go and we sit down. And we have a lovely meal. And then, and it was a highly recommended place. And the ambiance was very nice. And I had some hot tea because it was very cold. And then I asked for some just plain water, no ice. I said, just some water, no ice. And she's like, okay, lovely waitress. She went and brought me back some water. And I was just like, really? So there was lipstick on the glass. And it wasn't mine. And I was just like, I'm sorry, but there's lipstick on the glass. And I'm like a pretty sustainable person, so I don't really ask for straws or anything. So obviously that glass really wasn't that clean. And so to know that it just wasn't clean and I could have been drinking from that, you know, it's just hard. And when people ask for straws constantly, they say, oh, I don't want to touch the rim of the glass or anything like that. What boggles my mind is that you will still drink coffee or get hot tea and you will drink from the rim of a cup, which is pretty much the same thing. So anyway, I don't know, just food for thought there. So I was just like, okay, well, that was the third thing that happened. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. I go back to my room, everything's fine. The next day went fine, except my cough's still getting worse and worse and worse. My sore throat. Thank God I was not doing a session at this conference because I wouldn't have been able to do it. I just was losing my voice all over the place. My sore throat would get better overnight, and then when I would talk during the day, it would continually get worse. And then at one point, we were supposed to go to the university for a tour, and I thought, oh my God, I don't want to be outside in this weather because my throat is so bad. So I opted just to stay in the room, and while they went, and my friend, you know, kind of kept me in the loop what was happening. And lo and behold, they didn't really take a tour. They ended up doing it was like a mini session over there. And so they ended up coming back, and then I met up with her again, and then we did our evening stuff. But we still, like, neither of us were feeling well. Like, we were a little bit off. And so we cut our night short, and we went to bed. So we were kind of feeling ill during that time. A little bit, like off and on. It was kind of weird. It was like it would come and go. So then the last day of the conference, we had the morning available, and so we went and we ran some errands. Well, we went and did a touristy thing, and I'll put the video in here of what we went and did, and then we came back, and on the way back there was a last like end of the conference type stuff, and we got a text message saying our flight was canceled for the next morning. So we were just like, oh my gosh. So our flight was canceled, and so I was so lucky. I got on the phone with the travel agent for work, and she was able to negotiate with American Airlines, which is also a partner with United Airlines, if you weren't aware of that, to get us on another flight because all the American Airlines flights were filled up, and we were able to get on a United flight, which was leaving. Instead of it, ours originally was at like 9:45, and we got in at 3:15. So that wasn't too bad. Except then we got to the airport. So if you haven't seen my favorite travel apps, one of the apps in there is my TSA, which she was watching to see how long it would get us through security, because we weren't sure if there was any other flights canceled. There was going to be packed over there. We were also looking at timing to get to the airport. So we were trying to navigate like when we should leave. we were really blessed that the hotel allowed us to have a late checkout. And so that was perfect. So we were able to leave a little later, not have to rush in the morning, but still we had this 3:15 flight. So we left the hotel and we got there and everything was going fine. And we made it to our terminal. And also the All-Star basketball games were going on in Chicago, and the players were flying in. So there was a lot of really tall people there. I kept walking by. And I mean, for me, everyone's tall, but they were really tall. And so anyway, there was a lot of them. There was like, oh, look at him, look at him, look at him. Who's that? Who's that? And I was like, I don't know. Like, no clue. And so anyway, so we're going and we found our terminal. We sat down. And so we're waiting and we're watching, we're watching to make sure this flight is landing. And so you can always go in the app and see where your flight has come from before, and to see if it's on time and if it's arriving on time and what's the schedule and stuff like that. And we're looking like, this doesn't seem like it's coming in quite on time. And we only had an hour in our layover in Denver. So that was the big thing. We only had an hour. So we ended up thinking we may be running in Denver. And my whole goal was to get my burrito in Denver, because they have a really good burrito in Denver. Here's a picture. And so we're watching it, and then all of a sudden we got a text message saying, like, it's 3:15, it's like time. Or it's like, I think it was like 3 o'clock, time for boarding. And we got a text message saying, no, your airplane's somewhere else. And so basically it wasn't far. I think we were in like 36, and we had to go down to like 18. So here we go. And of course everybody's rushing. Let me tell you guys, let me tell you people, everybody has a boarding group, right? And you all have your own seats. Literally, I believe the only ones that should be running are groups 1 and 2. I don't know why groups 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7 needed to run. They were not getting on before 1 and 2. So it was super funny, because we were just kind of looking at each other like, I'm in group 3, she's in group 4, and I'm like, why? I have my seat. It's not like someone else is going to take my seat. It's not like I'm going to get bumped. The plane just landed. They still have to get off the other people, and they have to clean it. And you're literally not that far. It's like 35 and 18 was not far. And so we just took our time and walked down there. And so we moseyed on down there. And then, okay, my son just called. So, anyway, so I don't get the whole thing of just like rushing and stuff. But when we got down there, we ended up waiting it was delayed another 45 minutes. So we actually got to, so this is all things about traveling. So you get on the plane and you're like crossing your fingers you're not going to miss your connecting flight. And this is the reason why everyone tells you to fly the day before for your cruise, especially if you have a connecting flight, or if you're traveling at a high peak time where your flight could be canceled, or if you're traveling at a weather heavy time where your flight that's going to be bringing you in is coming from a weather pattern that may not get off the ground. So you have to think about all those things about your flights being canceled, because it's not just about like if you're in good weather, like say if you're traveling from California straight to Florida, but my plane coming in to California to pick me up could be coming from North Dakota that just had a huge snowstorm. So, and they're grounded. That's what I mean by not getting off the ground. It's like they're grounded, so they're canceled. So that is then you trying to struggle to find your flight. So that's why it's best to go in, fly the night before. So, or the day before. And so we literally got off our flight in Denver, and no burrito for Dina. We ran to, or walked very fast. We didn't really run. We walked very fast to our terminal. And I kind of, I've only been to Denver once for the airport, I mean. And I just don't remember it being that bad. So I told her, I go, it shouldn't be that bad. So we walked over there pretty fast. We both needed to use the facilities as well. So we were just like, I think she got off first, and I got a text saying, hey, I got to use the facilities. See you at the place, right? And then I was texting her pretty much the same thing. Hey, I got to use the restroom. So anyway, we ended up going into the same restroom. We saw each other there, and then we walked over there. And then I think we were there a few minutes, and we started boarding. And this is a very small plane, so there was only probably less than 10 minutes in boarding time. And then we were up. Like, we had no time in Denver. And so we were up, and we landed perfectly. But it ended up being that we had it was just a very long day. And we had breakfast like this is another thing. My mistake. Snacks in your bag. Because I had literally nothing but a bag of chips that I bought in Chicago because I was looking for my burrito. Yes, I'm still going to say it again. Yes, I was looking for my burrito in Denver. And we had breakfast in the morning, probably like 8:30 in Chicago. And so we didn't get home till 9 o'clock, and literally I had a bag of chips. Yeah. And so that was pretty much it. And so if you think about it, it's like 8:30 in the morning, but in reality, because of the time change and stuff, it was like 11 o'clock at night. So that's how long it had been since I had actually had ate. So if you don't want to be, sick or nauseous and things like that, especially with me taking medication and stuff like that. So you want to I want to always make sure I'm balanced and stuff. So I should have had some kind of snacks or picked up something other than chips from the airport. So I should have got some protein bars or fruit or something to, just to keep you going, keep your sugar levels and stuff like that. So just remember things like that too, just a little bit of snacks and stuff just in case, because you never know what's going to happen. So those are all the things that happened. It was kind of crazy. And I still ended up having that slight sore throat and a cough for like another week, 10 days after that. So like I said, I'm just barely getting over it. And I've been back for almost a week and a half. So, yeah. So just be careful when you travel. We also, of course, there was, a lot of alerts for the coronavirus as well. And so we did wear our masks. And I just felt very, not want to say 100% safe, because, I wiped down the chairs and all the stuff with my antibacterial stuff. It's the same thing we do when I get on a cruise and into a hotel room and stuff. You wipe stuff down, things that, the high priority stuff. You can't wipe down all the walls and everything, but, your high priority stuff, all the handles, the doorknobs, your phone, the light switches, anything that you feel like are high touch areas. And so same thing with the seat. I wiped down the seat, all the table, the little flip down tray table, the window area, and the little thing that pulls the shade up and down, the buttons on the seats, the little thing in the front where the pocket stuff is. All those little things I think are, you have to think about. And so there was also that going around, as well as all the other things that are happening. So thank God, and I really say, big prayers for all the people who are suffering in the world with that particular virus that has just taken over like all of the news and everything. It's a horrible thing to hear about and see. And of course it has affected our cruise ships and stuff as well. Not ours personally, but our love of our cruise ships. And so, yeah, so anyway, that was about it. Is that enough? Is that really enough? Yeah, that was totally enough. Sorry that was a lot of rambling going on and on. It was just like a lot to deal with in a very short amount of time because it was just a lot. So anyway, if you've had some interesting stories about when you've traveled and you just kind of go like, what? Like, oh my God, why? Leave a comment below. If you like this video, give it a little like and don't forget to subscribe. Take care and have a great day.